Do I recommend watching the drama? Actually, okay, here we go. If this turns out to be long enough, this will be video 3. If it's not, it'll just be tacked on to the end of video 2. My reactions to Impossible Heir, episode by episode, as I'm watching it, so you get to see my fresh take on the drama. There was tons more that I did say that I didn't put in the video, either because it felt entirely too random in between other stuff, or because, like, it's long. 12 episodes, I said, that are all about an hour long, or over an hour long, but that's actually not true. Some of them are about an hour and 1 minute long. The song is about 30 seconds long. And some of them are down as low as, like, 54 minutes long. So there's kind of a fluctuation in there. Usually by the end of dramas, the episodes get longer. I mean, if anything, either they stay the same or they get longer. This one they got shorter, and then all of a sudden the last episode was 58 minutes again. So it fluctuated. So this is the reaction to the last 2 episodes. I watched them last night, far too late, and other stuff, whatever. I couldn't actually film the reaction. So with episode 6 and 7, I wrote a little script of my reaction to the pictures. This time I didn't want to, because there are 43 pictures that I took just of the last 2. We'll see how many of them you see. I'm already planning ahead of time at one point to show 6 of them on the screen at one time to show my point. But, so, let's get into this. So the first picture here just doesn't care about fingerprints, clearly. What day and age do you think we live in, dude? And then this, honestly, I should have caught on quicker. I didn't go back and look at them all, but yeah, every time it actually shows the title, The Impossible Heir, pay attention to what it's showing each time. That was actually interesting. Do you think you're any different? This is such a typical bad guy move. I mean, I need to start thinking of a different word, because it's like not working to call them bad guys and good guys. And the reason it's not working to call them bad guys and good guys is not because the bad guys are any better, really. It's because the good guys are getting worse. He called them good guys, and I can't remember who it was that made the comment, and it's spot on, about how we end up calling people good guys, but really, I mean, the protagonist of the story, how good are they really? Regularly, I mean, like, if you see the other videos of the Impossible Heir reaction, you already know my thoughts on Teo and the girl that I can't pronounce the name of, so I just keep calling her the girl, and I get into it even more. They did something wrong, and they are not, we'll get to it. But the point is, call it bad guys and good guys. I need to come up with a different word. Protagonist and antagonist doesn't entirely work. This is long and rambling. It's already going to be long. So I'm going to move on. But my point is, they do this a lot where are you any different? Yeah, actually, they are different. Even if Teo has done a lot of things, he did not cross the line that Inha did. And by this point, you should know there's like a ton of spoilers. So I can just Inha killed people. He flat out murdered people. Yeah, there's a difference between them. You can't say there's no difference between them. Every time I put pictures of him in here just so I could say every time. I love this guy. But I put this picture specifically here because I thought it every single time he was on the screen, and I didn't say it because I felt like it was getting too long, but this might be the 3rd video anyway, so I'm going to say it anyway. By the way, his voice. For one thing, his voice. He's got an interesting voice in and of itself, the pitch of it. I've never seen this actor on anything else. Apparently he's only been on one other thing. This is only the 2nd time he's ever acted on anything. I don't know what his real voice sounds like. It kind of sounds like he might be making it lower than normal, like on purpose. But I don't really know. But then also his accent. I'm assuming that's what it is. Okay, the original, like the actual actor, there's very little about him on my drama list. I think it said he was like South Korean born. I forget now, though. I forget where it said he was born in. But this character is supposed to be from North Korea. So is that why there's something, I don't know if it's an accent or just the way he talks. I'm not sure. But I find it quite interesting because he doesn't talk the way anybody else does. He has a different inflection or different something in the tone and flow of his voice. It makes it unique and very noticeably him every time, even if he hasn't walked on screen yet. Like, he says one word and you know it's him. Like, every time before he even walks on screen because I hear his voice. See what happens when you have one specific hat rack? I went from wanting to love this guy to deciding that I liked him, and like, you know, and watch the progression of how I fall in love with characters. And of course, it definitely helps loving him, what he does, his abilities, the fact that he can hack so incredibly scarily, like watching him hack people's phones and turn it on so he can use the camera to what. Okay, now I'm a little moving on. I just want him on screen as much as possible. I want a whole separate drama about him, okay? Really. Yeah, I thought they said that, back up to that other picture, that guy right there. I thought they said it was his turn to step up. I thought he was the one that was, they set the whole thing up, talking like as if he was the one that was going to go and talk to them. And I was like, this is going to be interesting. How is this going to work out and whatever? And then it didn't. I am so confused why they kept telling him it was his turn and he's going to step up now. And then it's Teo that comes in and says this. And see, this is just a one picture because, like, this kind of thing, this moment here, this flashback to these two having a talk and all the rest of this kind of stuff. This is precisely what they left out by skipping 10 years. And this is precisely what we desperately needed between these two as well as between them and the girl. This right here, this, they specifically put it here because it was Inha remembering something and then he goes and does something that it never confirms that it was him that really did it, but it had to have been him that did it. Him right there. Okay, I took this picture specifically because I'm very confused about the color of his thingy there. When Teo went to jail, because they were labeling him murderer, he had a red patch. They made a big deal about the fact that he has a red patch. Teo said throughout this entire thing that this guy killed his mother. We know that his mother is not dead and that his mother is still alive. We know that they lied. Who exactly did they lie to, though? Did the actual courts think that the mother was dead and this guy's in jail for killing her? Or did the actual courts know that she wasn't actually alive and he wasn't actually in jail for actually killing her? He's just in jail for, like, massively abusing her. What is he actually in jail for? How come his tag is not red? That confused me. Tell us the exact charges. The guy did tell them the exact charges. The only thing he left out was exactly who it is that they... Anyway, move on. What kind of protection does he have when it doesn't look like that thing has a case on it at all? He literally threw it against the wall and it went clatter clatter all over the stone and there's not a scratch on it. Impressive. And there, see, he told everybody that his mother was dead. I never heard him tell anybody that she actually wasn't. And yet now all three of these people, I find it very interesting that all three of them are at the funeral. Sungju was there too. So all of a sudden everybody knows that his mother was not actually dead because there she is alive. So if the dad is in jail for killing her, now he's in jail. Did he get a retrial? Like, And see, this right... Squealy, he's on screen again. This is why I want more of his story. The look on his face there. He looks like he's remembering somebody that he himself lost that was very important to him. Who has he lost? How did he lose them? What is his backstory? I want his backstory so bad. Like, so bad. I just don't want the people that made this drama to make his story. Not if they're going to put it together the way they put this story together. But I desperately want his backstory. Like, can we please have a whole drama just about him? Please. I'm sorry, but I started laughing at that. I wasn't supposed to, but it just came out as a laugh. Arrest on an elevator. Crowded chaos. They love creating chaos when they arrest people. Okay, and that was the last image of episode 11's reaction. Now we're moving on to episode 12. And they gave you this warning again because at roughly the 19-minute mark, you see a very much briefer flashback to the same one that they gave you a warning of last time. And then closer to the end of the drama, I can't remember exactly where, but closer to the end, there's this second depiction. If you're the kind of person that needs that warning. Okay, here's where I'm going to show 6 pictures at the same time. Cover up my face. All 6 of those pictures. People just say the strangest thing to people that have just lost somebody. I don't know what I want to say about this. And now you can probably hear the rain because all of a sudden it's raining really hard again. It's been raining a lot. I knew it was going to, but yeah, it's been raining a lot in the last few days. No thunder this time, but... Okay, this guy right here. I have closing thoughts, so I'll say more about some of these people and whatnot at the end. The only thing I was going to say right here was, yeah, your entire life. I noticed it a long time ago and just didn't bother commenting on it. How he's like the only one in the entire family that's not married. He just hangs around with his mom constantly as if it's her he's married to. And that's just a little bit creepy. Yeah. Okay. He's back on the screen again. I would feel way more sorry for that dude if he wasn't a murderer. Cold-blooded murderer. I mean, of all the things that they did, I was like, wait a minute, how many people have actually been killed in this drama? I don't remember if I can actually remember how many end up getting killed, but there's at least one dude that dude killed, and like literally nobody brings him up ever even once. Just left in a trash can. I forget which episode it was and decided it's a dead body. I usually don't like show pictures of like people that have been like killed and whatnot because that's a little bit disturbing. Talk about advisory stickers. Whatever. He was left in a trash can. Did they even ever find him? I just had to take a picture of that because it's like the punchline of the joke just delivered at just the right moment. Pictures don't exactly do it justice. Look on his face and the timing with it. She just play, and he's just like, again, every single time, guys, every single time. Finally, the thanks that I was talking about last time when he's like, thank you to literally everybody else, but to Sunwoo, he's like, and what are you doing here? And I'm like, saving your life, dude. That's what he's doing here. Thanks, finally. This court. Like I said, white, not red, white. Why? Is it because does red mean you're on actual death row? Is that the difference? They said he's wearing red because he killed somebody. It must actually be that if you're red, you're actually on death row. Because he killed people too, and the other guy killed people. Well, like I said, that's confusing. But he's definitely in there because he killed people, and yet it's white, not red. So that must be the difference. It just occurred to me. I took the picture here, but it's in my wrap-up comments, so I'll leave it for there. Such a beautiful... Why are there spiders all over the corner of that stupid thing? Who put the spiders there? Who thought that was a good idea? You nuts. Okay, that's the only picture I'm going to take of that, but... I have so many things that I want to say. But it's one of those... This scene was far too... Don't know how to put into words anything, so I just have to leave this. And then they skip again. They skip 3 years again. Because they weren't done skipping stuff. This just... Okay, I'll make the second comment in the wrap-up comments. How did they build that thing in 3 years? How? How did they build that entire thing in 3 years? And he's talking there like as if he's done such an awesome job at that. Awesome family, dude. Like, awesome protecting of that family. Yeah, he's never been wrong. Oh my gosh. Idol on a pedestal. Like, you covered him in gold. He is an idol on a pedestal. I'll get back to that. Oh, finally! Sorry, morbid to use this as the example, but finally, and it was like not long after this where the name on the screen threw me. Teo finally says that he was 18 at the beginning of it. So finally, let me do the math and stick it up here. Now we finally know how much time was actually skipped the first time that they skipped some time, and how old everybody was. Finally, at the very end of the drama. My dude! I love ya! And they also finally did explain that look on his face. This is the second time, I think it's only the second time within this drama that he had a look on his face that actually confused me. Because apparently that's like awe. That's supposed to be awe and like maybe shock. Like, has he never seen fireworks before in his life? Like, ever. So he says, he's like, oh, that's it. That's my dream. That's what I want here. And I'm like, you look like you were horrified to me. And earlier on, I took a screenshot of it, and then I decided not to. Where, again, he looked like absolutely, like, shock, horrified. But actually, it was more like he was just dazed. Because he was zoning out. And I'm like, okay, that's twice. Where he had a look on his face where I completely misunderstood what he was trying to portray with that. But that's only twice. This is the second thing I've seen him in. That's only twice where I've misunderstood what he was trying to portray. But it is an interesting icon. Anyway. And that is the last picture I took. So that's the last pictures. Except now I'll put a whole big picture on the screen and read what it says. Because here are finally... got interrupted and had to stop it. Sorry. So after all of that, the final wrap-up thoughts of what I thought of this drama. Did I manage to summarize them? I don't know. But this is what I wrote in my book. The first 4 episodes walk across the river using only broken ice. Wow. However, once it actually started, like, consistently staying with the times, which is starting in episode 5, I printed pictures of them so you know who they are. I did not like Hiju. She was a yappy little dog snapping near my heel. Worse, constantly trying to lick my heel. I have a dog that is constantly just randomly licking my heel while I walk past her. It drives me insane. I hate it when she does that. 'Cause long and short of it, she was a spoiled brat that never budged. Loud and spoiled from start to finish. So self-centered. She acted like, at the beginning of it where she's like, I didn't realize you were all so cold-hearted, because she wanted to bring Inha into the family. And yet, did she ever actually do that because she cared a lick about Inha? I don't think she did. If you look at her attitude later on in life, what? If you really are a part of our family, mother should be your biggest priority right now. Well, why would she be? She's not actually Inha's mother. Never ever was. Never has been since he came into the family. He calls her mother for show more than anything. I can't believe he actually calls her mother. She's not his mother. And yet, if she had said, for my sake, because I love my mother, so can't you help her out? And then she's like, you've changed. You're not who I remember you being. Well, everybody's saying that. He did change quite a lot, but at the same time, he probably didn't change. His own admission, I'm still the same. He probably didn't change as much as everybody thought he did. Like they say, power does not corrupt. Power reveals what you were all along. And you didn't have the power to accomplish before, and now you do. This drama shows you what that looks like. The power did not corrupt him. He was already corrupt. It just gave him the ability to do things that he didn't have the ability to do before. But, Hiju, she's so loud. She's constantly yap, 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 and yet she's like bark, 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 absolutely no bite. She has no ability to bite anybody. She's just so loud and obnoxious. But pretty much, basically everyone in this drama is self-centered. Goomsuk, just sigh. Bad guys. Except she's not really entirely, just, whatever, I'm not going there. Jungmoo, I ended up feeling so cringe about him. How did he end up the idol of the whole drama? How? Freedom, Teo? Living for yourself, Teo? You traded Inha for Jungmoo, end of story. That is just... talk about the 10 years of a relationship that we didn't get to see, even though we got to see more of that relationship than anybody else's relationship in the 10 years. How did you build such a thingy where he ended up your idol and you do... I'm going way off script here, but at the same time, this is supposed to be my wrap-up of everything. The whole obsession with protecting Kang-oh. What exactly is Kang-oh? Because they do this a ton in these dramas. The company, the money above every human being living and breathing beside you. That is the message I'm getting every time they do this. To Sung-mo, Kang-oh is everything. And he made the, like, self-righteous speech to Teo about protecting human beings, and yet we never see Jong-mo protect any human being throughout this entire drama except Teo, and the only reason he protected Teo is because he wanted Kang-oh saved and he thinks Teo's the only one that can do it. So even when he's protecting Teo, he's not doing it for the sake of Teo being a human, living, breathing being. He's doing it for his company, the money, the thing, the possessions. He is not an idol. He is not a good person. He is not. And yet this drama, like, Sung-jo is different. Obviously no reason to like him throughout the whole drama, but he changed. I mean, it seems his mom might have too, but we didn't really get to see down the road with her. Sung-jo we did, because it skipped 3 years and we see what he's like. He grew up. Yay! Like, wow. Wow. Teo and, I wrote her name down, but the girl, I cannot say her name right, frustrated me. It is such a good thing they were not together in the end, even 3 years later. But we will never change, Teo said. So then what was that most selfish of all acts, of all topping of selfishness, splutter with words all over the place that you two did? In-ha's actions were all his own choices. He went through the roof and made horrific choices due to jealousy. That's what jealousy does, people. You think jealousy is just a little thing that doesn't really matter much? You think it's okay when you're like, there's a good type of jealous? A husband jealous of his wife's affection is a good thing. A wife jealous of her husband's affections is a good thing, because you are married. You should be focused 100% on each other with absolutely no room for anybody else in your heart, any other human being in your heart. However, this is what jealousy does. This is why jealousy and bitterness and all the rest of that stuff are so intensely through the roof, way more dangerous than you think on a day-to-day basis. When you have just a little bit of jealousy, it's okay. It's not a little thing, people. It's not a little thing. But Teo and the girl did something bad, really bad, to In-ha. What they did to In-ha, because they were both so self-centered, and they aren't sorry. Clearly, they do not really believe they did anything wrong. And if they did, it's automatically wiped clean, because In-ha was so bad that what they did doesn't count. That is not how this works, people. It is not how it works. But it's kind of what happened to everybody in this drama, except Sung-jo and his mom. Everyone else became a saint purely because In-ha turned so bad. That's kind of what I'm getting from this whole drama. That's what it feels like. Like I say, even that flippin' owner, he's portrayed as like this guy we don't like. They're trying to take him down, etc. And then it turns out it's not really anything about him. Everything he does is fine. He's not wrong. He's never wrong. He's a good guy. He's an amazing guy. They were wrong. They shouldn't have been trying to take him down. They were just... Teo and the girl I can't pronounce the name of, in their burning passion, tempting themselves until they absolutely break, and they just like have this moment of intense passion where they did something that they had no right to do. It's disgusting that they did this, and they did it to In-ha, because she was with In-ha for 10 years, and she's currently engaged to him, literally on the brink of being married to him, and she goes off and sleeps with Teo instead. And yet, oh well, that was a tiny little mistake. And in the end, it doesn't even go anywhere. They don't even end up together. So what was that? If you're going to be fine with, like, after all of that, after like 11 years of this insanely tense stress between these two, this tension, and then they finally broke it, and that's over with now. We're fine with, like, not actually being together. There's literally nothing in the world stopping them from being together anymore because In-ha's gone. But, That wasn't really our goal anyway. That was, one night was enough. Can you see this, people? Can you see this? Can you? Sunwoo! I want so much more about him! I would give him alone 3 whole stars. But I cannot give this drama as a whole more than 2.5 or 3. I'm not entirely sure. I put question marks when I gave it 3 out of 5. 5 is the ultimate that I could give it. 5 plus an extra heart or 2. That's like the ultimate I do for dramas in this book when I rate them. And I can't entirely say what it is I exactly rate them for, but if you've seen enough of my videos, you should kind of be able to tell. But yeah, Sunwoo alone gets 3 whole stars out of this 3 that this drama gets. He got, Teo maybe got a half a star. Sunwoo got a whole star. The acting and everything else that could possibly be gleaned from this got a star. Combined. Something like that. Sunwoo. Okay. So, I can't close this until I put the bookmark in it. Silly me. I do that all the time. I forget to put the bookmark in it before I close it. That is my ending wrap-up conclusions. If you watched the entirety of the 3 videos that I put together, because the last thing I just filmed about 2 episodes was about 19 minutes, and this is like over 10 minutes, so combined, this probably will be a completely separate video. If you watched all 3 of them, thank you very, very much. I hope you leave some kind of feedback, comment, or something. I hope you enjoyed it at the very least. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on the videos, because that lets me know, 1, that someone actually watched it, not just kind of clicked on it and watched 2 seconds worth and walked away, or a couple of minutes, which you're allowed to do, but it's kind of frustrating when it claims I have so many views on the video and they aren't actually views because people didn't actually watch it. So if you did watch it and you liked it, I hope you give it a like so that I know that somebody appreciated it, or enjoyed it, or liked it, or gave it the time of day. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to leave a comment, please do leave a comment. Like, if you've seen the show and did you watch it before I watched it? Did anything I say change your opinion? Or are you planning to watch it now because of my reaction? Let me know in the comments if you want to comment. So, thanks for watching all of this. I hope you enjoyed it. Do I recommend watching the drama? Actually, yeah, there are things about it that, like, I mean, you heard all of my complaints. If you watched all of my videos, you know what my complaints are. But at the same time, once they finally stopped bouncing around and making me walk on broken ice across a thingy, once I had my Sunwoo hat rack to hang my hat on, and I had something to calm down with, once it stopped jumping all over the place and just went with it, yes, there were things to, yeah, go ahead and watch it. It's not a complete waste of time. Bye!